Fantastic. First, as always, I want to start off by honoring our pastors, our interim coordinators, Myra and Pastor Tom, my supervisor Paul, and the media team, and finally all of you who sit and stand before me here today. So, the past year of my life in this internship program has been one of the most challenging, but also equally beneficial experiences I've ever had in my life.
Come on, send it.
And most of you know, the growth, the self-development, and the breakthrough that the internship produces is inherently and just indescribable in the best way possible.
Yeah.
That being said, as also I'm sure many of you know, there are and will be times during this program which you will be tried, tested, pushed, and stretched. And with that being said, it's just one of those things where I've encountered these barriers myself multiple times, and I've always had to fall back on the same question that I've asked myself time and time again. That just so happens to be the title of my message today. That question is, what about now?
Talk about it.
So the purpose behind this open topic preach is to provide the remembrance or the clarity behind why you joined the internship, or for some of you, why you should stay. Remember that in times of desperation, God is looking for your discipline. So in doing so, every ounce of effort that you sow into God's kingdom and soil ends up creating a sea of impact for generations to come.
Come on.
I've always desired to serve my community personally. So with that intention in mind, I've had to constantly remind myself that that's the why behind me serving at church. That's the why behind me becoming an intern. And that's the why behind me continually persevering through each and every single circumstance I face.
Come on, Dan.
Various obstacles may manifest themselves during these trials and during these seasons of our lives. In any period of growth, we may deal with spiritual, physical, or even financial circumstances that we have to overcome. But through our obedience and persistence, God will provide and exceed our expectations 100% of the time.
Come on.
Job chapter 42 verse 10 says, "And the Lord restored Job's losses when he prayed for his friends. Indeed, the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before." So remember that the bigger the barrier that's in front of you, the bigger your breakthrough will be. The triumph we experience is much more significant and more valuable when we have turmoil that was in front of it. As I've preached before in the past, and I'll say it again, when it feels like you have nothing else to lose, you will have everything to gain. Don't let the world, the difficulties, cloud the lens of life that you look through. You could lose your job. I did. You could lose your health. You could be in the hospital multiple weeks at a time. I know I was. And you could even lose 6 of your family members in the span of 2 years before you joined the internship. I did as well. With that being said, with these losses, God has room to redeem. And by redeeming, He is our sole provider, and He is the one that actually will push us through.
Come on, Cal.
Some of the most broken vessels do carry the most powerful messages.
Yeah, they do.
And remember that God doesn't look for seniority, He looks for your faith.
Come on.
Psalms 91:7 says, 1,000 may fall at your side and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. So instead of attempting to balance your life on your own, let God take grasp of it.
Come on.
And throw you forward and guide you.
Come on.
I found that releasing my pains, my struggles, my doubts to the Lord has always been exchanged with comfort and compassion. And I've said this before, but I feel that the difference between someone who's jaded or someone who's courageous is determined by how much they actually care about their past and future. Though jadedness may ruin the luster of our courage and compassion, our joy in the Lord is our polish. And with that joy and the knowledge that you know where you are now, where you've been, and where you're going, if you trust in the Lord, He will absolutely be more than happy to prevail you and push you forward. One quote that really has reflected on how I pray, minister, and how I think was actually from Pastor Ron, Pastor Guacha's husband here at Men's Prayer. And that is, proclamation without demonstration is inadequate. So if you can't do it on your own, remember that you are surrounded by a community and a family here that is willing to stand in the gap with you time and time again. Through every single circumstance, utilize them. And should all else fail, know that though humanity may fail you, God does not fail you.
Come on, somebody.
Should you fall down your journey, God will pick you back up. You just have to give your hand to His.
Come on.
Woo! In general, the stretch is not something to be stressed over, it's something to be ecstatic about. So you are in this program for a God-given reason. Don't doubt yourselves. Don't let anyone tell you that what you do here doesn't matter. It absolutely does.
Come on.
Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do something because of the way you look, the way you walk, or by the heritage you carry. God is looking for someone like you in a time like now to
Yes.
succeed.
Come on.
Thank you.